Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. In fact, wait. Hi guys, welcome again to my channel. This is Flookiesden. Thanks for tuning in. If you're new, hit the subscribe button and don't forget to follow and like all our videos. Go watch the ones you've not watched up till now because we've always churned out content that help you look forward to moving into a new land here in Canada. Today's video is something that has to do with a rant, and I've decided to do this video. I've been pending on it for a while, but I just wanted my cup to overflow and then let me do the video just for the sake of as many people that are looking at buying properties here in Canada or maybe other places. I can't tell, but one thing for sure is that buying a house and buying planks with all the things that are inside the house is not in itself a perfect house that you will find. We've spent a lot of money trying to get house of our choice, and then we begin to think and say to ourselves, how do we navigate all of these concerns for us to be able to get something that is viable for us as immigrants here in Canada. But before you look further, there you will find out that life is not actually green at the end of the tunnel, and there are so many complaints to some of these homes that we buy. Sometimes you see that even the builders or the people that you work with or the realtors, they actually work hand in hand when you are trying to approve your mortgage, and you begin to look for how to make that initial approval or gets you into the bank and all of those stuff. And everybody's looking for their best interest, and then when you sign those dotted lines and you get approved and you put down that down payment, then you're already in their fishing net for them to do you otherwise. I'm not saying that's all that applies to everybody. Guys, we need to be able to check the things that we do or the things that we're being offered in the homes that we eventually sign up to buy. Make sure that everything is checked as what you want. There might be some specifications in the document that you sign. Just make sure that all of these things are done, because these builders have, in fact, I say they have things up their sleeves, and I'm not joking. So I'm going to bring it home to my own family, where we recently just moved to our own house. As far as we're concerned, maybe we're looking for that perfect house which nobody will find, and then you begin to see that sometimes there's no genuinity in some of the things that the builders or the property companies bring your way. So our own problem started from getting into the house. I'm not going to mention the builder. You can imagine them not doing something because you are naive. You are not a builder, right? Even from my experience working in a construction company, sometimes these things are different here in Canada. So you must also give that allowance for you to be really cheated. And then comes to the appliance, which is the main game. And I know that builders, in a bit to be able to reduce the cost of homes, they remove some things, or they will tell you that the house does not come with appliance or does not come with this or that, for them to be able to, you now flash that cheap house in front of you and you say, oh, it's cheap. Then when you start moving it, you realize that some things are missing or some things are not there, because you have not also looked in between the lines to be able to understand what is there. Well, for our own case, we saw the things that were there. Some things that were not there, we included them in them because we wanted them. How can you move into a house and then you start shopping for your own appliances? How? You want to move into a house that has appliances, right? Good. So we came in 3 days or so before we moved in, and we realized that there were no appliances, and we were like, this was part of our contract. Where is the appliance? And then we hear that there's shortage in the store or this and that, and we're asked to go to the store to go pick one. And that was where we missed it, right? So we went knowing that we're going to move in 3 days, no appliance. We went there. The refrigerator that was meant to be part of what was the exact specification was actually there, and I wonder, why didn't they bring that? Then we saw the stove, that's the cooker, But the one that was meant to be there was bad, was faulty, it wasn't good. Then we picked something else, and in fact, even if I had seen that one, me, knowing me, would not want to pick that one. So, well, it was like an upgrade, but we picked it because that one was not even there, and there was no option for us to pick. Then goes the washer and dryer, same thing. The same specification wasn't available, and we went ahead to pick something else. Yes, it was an upgrade. We paid almost $1,000 extra for that upgrade. And of course, we reached out to the builder and said, this and this is what happened. And they backed out. And they said, no, we upgraded. Okay, we upgraded, you faulted, you did not supply what we wanted. Time was running out. We couldn't have moved into the house without appliance. True. On a second thought, I think we would have just paused and just allowed them. So for many people that I know that are buying homes, or even from that particular builder, we have said to them, don't answer them. Don't answer them, because that's their game plan. So these are some of the aches or the pains, when you buy homes, and when builders begin to find means to be able to want you to do the things they want you to do, indirectly, there is a game plan, and you fall into it. So we fell into it, and we coughed out almost $1,000 to be able to upgrade, as they say, because what they had wasn't available. In a good scenario, I would have expected that they at least will pay part of it, even if they don't want to take up the whole cost, because yes, it wasn't our intention to upgrade, but what was meant to be there, apart from the refrigerator, other things were not available, and they did not see it in sight coming. So that means we'll be in the house, no fridge, no burner, no cooker, no washer, no dryer. And in fact, let me fast track to that washer and dryer thing, because at the end of the day, even after paying that amount, and then the same brand though, we moved this two washer and dryer into our home. They fixed it, they moved it, they fixed it, and then 1 month down the line, it was like it was a factory setting. Then we probably will have guests and we're washing, and there's so much noise, or you can't even do your laundry in silence. One of my friends came visiting at some point, and then while we're taking them on a tour around our house, they said, are you milling something in your house? Because the noise was really, really bad. In fact, you will have a headache. You will have a headache, instant headache. And then we call these people and say, something is wrong. This thing does not look right. How can you be having laundry done and then there's so much noise in the house, there's vibration? In fact, at the point, my husband said, why would the dryer and the washer be on the first level of the home? It should be downstairs. Well, Niger style. But they said that's how it is. So then we're bogged down with this issue or this concern, and right, we just had to deal with it, and we went back and forth and back and forth, and this took us I'm not exaggerating, guys, this took us almost 4 months or even more before we got it sorted out. And there were correspondence. In fact, I began to correspond with those in the US, in other parts of Canada, because we wanted a resolution, and they were just tossing us here and there, and I was saying, no, we will not take that. My husband wanted it moved totally, that he no buy again. I don't want, take it away. And they were reluctant. That we bought it, the warranty says parts, and they bought parts they were going to fix. Well, they bought parts they came to fix the first time, work. And then we were held again for them ordering parts. It was just a mess. It was just a mess. At some point, they had to move the washer away to their factory to go repair, according to them, or change more parts. In fact, the funny part that pained me too was that this technician came, removed a part which we were not even aware of, and he said nothing, and he walked out. Yeah, it was working. Everything was working. It was just noisy. And then you were going to repair, you couldn't sort it out. Maybe the parts you brought wasn't the final thing that would really sort it out. And you took something off the washer. And we typically do laundry 2 times a week. And it took us another 2 or 3 days before it reached our laundry day. And we knew nothing. We now had to turn on the power for washer. It was not working. What was going on? My son came to me. He's the one on the laundry chores. And he says, Mom, this is not working. I said, what's wrong? And I was furious. And guess what? This happened on a Thursday. We were calling, there was holiday on a Friday. It was a public holiday on a Friday. And everybody was racing to be able to close for the Thursday. So don't forget that while the guy came on, I think on a Monday, we did our last washing on Sunday. So we had clothes to wash till the following Sunday, right? Because we had on Thursday, and that was when we discovered it wasn't working. Sunday that we were supposed to have our laundry done, of course we couldn't, and we had to wait. So 1 week we were out of washer and dryer. And that was the situation that we found ourselves. But emails were flying, phone calls were flying, we were upset. At some point, we had to insist that we needed to have something to use. And they had to send us a loaner washer at the point. And the loaner washer was working like a newborn baby. No noise. No noise. And it was an old machine. Gosh. Anyway, we finally sorted it out, but it was amidst a lot of concern, a lot of complaints, a lot of arguments and all of that. So that's just one. Then the backsplash, if you also notice on my channel that I also recently changed my backsplash in my kitchen. No black backsplash. It was like a joke. And then we asked them what's going on. No backsplash. And they said it wasn't part of it. And we wondered, how can you excuse me? And we had to, in fact, I think it costed us about $200 to be able to do that. But at the end of the day, I didn't quite understand. So I'm saying, okay, even if it's $200 that will cost you, what is wrong with you putting a backsplash in a house? Is there anything wrong with that? How much is $200 from the cost of the building? Please let me ask them. And that was the situation where we also, so it was another complaint which they backed out of. Okay, are you counting it for me? Oh. Another one that was really bad was, my daughter was doing the bathroom, and then there was a punch in the hole. The bathroom had a hole, and she comes and says there was a hole in the bathroom. She's been washing the bathroom. There was no complaint in other bathrooms or wherever we've lived before. And I said, how can we have a hole in the bathtub, the wall, just a few months into moving in? Then we called one of the builder, that's the only sane person that I see in that company actually. And he came in and said there was a void behind the bathroom tub, right? And that was why that place broke in or caved in. And then all efforts to get, it was a small hole, it wasn't anything that bad, but yes, water can probably be going through that and cause more harm. So we needed to fix it. We are not expecting that they will now start evacuating the whole bathtub and bringing a new one. Well, that one is a futile wish, but at least come and do something. And then I see that they are always pushing the blame back to their buyers, not even trying to take responsibility for anything at all. And I wonder, why do they do this? And that's the part that pisses off my husband, that why do you people behave like this? I'm ranting, this is a rant, so bear with me. They are just defensive of their company. It's okay to defend your company, you are there to protect your company, but the customer is always like, if there's no customer, you won't sell your homes. If there's no customer, you won't have even money to be able to build more homes, and yet we're having crap as homes. Excuse me. It's not about the facade of the house, but the functionality of the things that are in there. So that was also a concern for us. At the end of the day, he said, well, they've looked at it back and forth and all of that, and they decided that they were going to fix it for free. I said, now you are talking. One thing at least you've done right. One thing. My purpose of ranting is actually to let you know that, look, there's nothing that is perfect. Not that I don't know, but at least when you go and collect money or credit in the bank to be able to buy a house, and then you're having all these issues at the early stages of your home, it's alarming, it's concerning. One upset customer would make you have, the rant goes on, and then you probably lose. I'm not going to mention their names. I'm not here to, put them on bad spots, but I'm just here to give you people understanding of some things that you need to put your eye well when you're buying homes, so that you'll be able to understand what is in their fine lines and what is agreed in the contract So when they say they are going to bring something, let them bring. Don't go ahead of him and say they are sorting something out because you're in a hurry to move in or something like that. You know, I know we're always itchy when it comes to new homes and us moving in, but we need to take a step back so that we can also have peace in our lives. I will only mention one more rant because not like it's a lot, but there's still more. One more thing was that we had a garage concern where we also nearly moved in, and the garage was hanging because at the time the weather wasn't as, you know, good. We're still in winter, and sometimes it gets stuck in the middle or just hangs and, you know, won't open, or, you know, there's just one thing, and at a particular point it was not even closing. Then we reached out to them, they sent some guy, and the guy comes and said we bashed into the garage. And that's was the height of, in fact, that was like the beginning of all these issues that we're having. And then my husband was really very mad with the guy. I said, how, excuse me, why would you say that? And he would always, you know, take back that information back to their office person, and that one comes back and says we bashed in, then we have to pay for any adjustment or anything. And we said no, we barely moved into this house. If we bashed it, we know we bashed it. Can't you guys take responsibility for something, at least for once? And, you know, this also lingered. Eventually they sent those that were in charge of the garage door, and the guy comes and says nobody bashed into this door. But you must also not take things lightly. Honestly, that's the truth, and that's where I've come to stay. And you should not take things lightly with them, especially when you are using your hard money to pay for these houses. That is plank, that is wood, that is not, you know, the kind of building that we used to know. Even in Nigeria, you are paying so much more for. Anyway, I think my camera battery is running low. Well, I don't know if my rant makes sense to you, but amongst other rants, there are still some little things that are still concerning, that we keep going back and forth, and I don't think we should be going back and forth to this building. And some things that I also am aware of, because you have a warranty for some things up to 1 year, some things up to maybe 2 years, some things up to maybe 5 years. It's concerning because you always now have to go back and go back to now, you know, keep complaining about one thing or the other, which is really not so good. So this is just for me to let you know that it's not all perfect, and for you to also know what to ask, some things to ask and look out for when you are buying a property here in Canada. I hope you have enjoyed my rant. And if you had similar concerns or complaints, please don't mention any builder's name. I'm not here to drag them, but please put them in the comment section and let other people learn. What do they need to look out for? What do they need to pay attention to? And so that they don't fall into this kind of mess. And for one of my neighbor, they are going to comment in this video as usual. When they were also moving, we had to tell them all these things, and they were safe from most of all these concerns that we faced, because they were ready. You know, it's like you're having an information ahead and you're attacking them ahead of time. Let them do what has been agreed in the contract. Thank you for watching, guys, and see you in my next vlog. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, hit like, and put your comment in the comment section, and let's continue to grow this channel. Thank you, guys. See you soon. Bye.